Hello Capsuleer, my name is Gildy and welcome to EVE Online.
Hey newbie, so you wanna do mining, eh? Let me tell you something, mining Veldspar all day with that venture will make you burn out in a week and leave New Eden. Especially if you want to earn ISK to do something else and have fun. How about something similar, which will involve more activity and teach you a thing or two about the game mechanics while you get way more ISK? Come with me, I'll show you what I mean. Ore mining for alpha characters is not the greatest way to make ISK. There are ways to do it, but you are then stuck to running in Lowsec really, sitting in ore anomalies that everyone can easily get you in, and I mean enter system, descan you, warp, and blap. It could be a learning experience, but let's make it a challenge for the hunters as well, while you get your ISK, shall we? Enter Gas Harvesting, an activity that with a little bit of exploration on the side can get you good ISK, teach you a thing or two about awareness in space and avoiding ganks, while you get very good ISK for an alpha player. At first, let's compare the ISK you can make while mining versus gas huffing to get you more interested in the activity itself. The numbers I will be presenting are for an alpha character with maxed out skills for a venture. First, Lowsec ore mining. The numbers you see on the screen right now are for a venture that sits in the belt for an hour, jetcan mining or doing whatever is needed to keep mining for the full hour. That is because when you mine ore, you will have to keep dropping off the ore because you mine more than you can hold in your ore hold. So in reality, the income will be a little bit lower. Now let's compare that to ISK per hour for gas cloud harvesting in Lowsec, where if you find a site, you can sit in it for most of the hour because gas harvesting collects less cubic meters, but the material is way more expensive. There is also one more place that everyone can easily get gas from, wormholes, but that's a topic for its own video. As you can see, gas harvesting can be some serious ISK when you get to it. So, how do you exactly do that? First, you will need some skills. There are two that are really important here, namely gas cloud harvesting at level 2 and mining frigate at level 4. Maximum available for alpha players. This way, you can put 2 gas harvesting scoops on your frigate and have the lowest possible cycle time for best huffing results. Gas cloud harvesting skill book can be quite expensive. Right as I am writing this script, you can get it for 39 million through the skill window, or 34.7 million in Jita, but it is worth it, believe me. Next, you need a ship. Not any ship, but the only one ready for the job and available for alpha players. The Venture. The beauty of it lays in the fact that it is enough, and it is as good as any Tech 2 frigate that you can use for gas cloud harvesting. Prospect, for example, the choice of a lot of Omega players, has only the benefit of being able to hold more gas inside. Other than that, it has the exact same speed bonuses as a Venture, so you sitting with one and having the skills I mentioned puts you in a very good spot to start getting your ISK through gas. I will link some fittings for basic huffing ventures in the description of the video. With that, you got your basic gas harvesting setup done, but you might need another ship. Gas sites spawn as cosmic signatures. This means that in order to get them, you will need to also get a basic exploration ship that will be able to scan them down. Any of the basic exploration frigates will do, just choose one you have the highest skills for, as it will generally speed up your scanning. If you maxed out your alpha scanning skills, you can even slap a core probe launcher on a venture and use it to run around Lowsec, sit in a safe spot and try finding gas sites. I would recommend getting an exploration frigate though, because first of all, they are super cheap, and secondly, if you find a relic site in Lowsec while looking for gas, why not go and run it? It's free ISK out there, calling to you. If you got no idea about scanning, hacking and all things exploration, I will make a link to my Exploration 101 playlist pop up on your screen right now, so you can get the basics. So, you got the skills, ships, where do you find the gas? EVE Wiki has a very handy table that shows you which regions can hold which types of gas. Yes, gas types are regional, which might get you traveling to get the more expensive types, preparing little bases of operations as you go, and discovering new areas and people. Now that you got the region right and found the site, you warp in. Now what? I usually warp to the site at 100 km first to assess if it was already partially depleted or not, then select the gas clouds and bookmark them, warp off, and warp back into the first gas cloud you will go for. Bookmarking the clouds does two things for you. If you have to go drop off the gas, you can then warp directly to the clouds when you are back to the site. And secondly, if you want to quickly get to another cloud once the one that you sat on got depleted, you will usually be around 100 km away. Instead of burning 100 km to the other one, burn away 50, then warp to the bookmark, which will be at the center of the cloud rather than the edge of it if you warp to the cloud itself, saving you a few kilometers. And since you are now relaxed and looking at the value of your ore hold going up, let's add a new healthy dose of paranoia to your new favorite ISK making opportunity. First, realize that you are in Lowsec. There is no Concord that will help you. The only person that can help you now to be safe and get as much ISK as possible is yourself. First thing you should look at is your local chat. If the system is completely empty, hooray, you got the clouds to yourself and no one will bother you for now. If you see someone enter local chat, check them out on zkillboard.com. Simply put their name into the search bar and take a look at them. If all they do is lose ships and have a very low kills to deaths ratio, you are probably fine, as those capsuleers are way less likely to hunt you. If you see them having a lot of green on zkillboard, check if they hunt ventures and other mining ships, or maybe they are part of factional warfare militia, etc. With time, looking at locals, checking their zkillboard will make you recognize who might be a threat and who is not. In general, seeing a lot of solo kills, a lot of green on their zkillboard, and a lot of mining ship kills, it's something that should ring alarm bells in your head. Your second best friend here is going to be the directional scanner, DScan for short. Set to full range, 360 degrees coverage, detached from the system map, so you can use it without it taking over half of your screen, and used as often as you can when there are people in system. If you see corp probes on DScan and people in system look like someone that might be trying to hunt you, warp off. It's always better to get out of the system, bank that 10 million you just made to cover your ship costs, and if the hunters were looking for targets, they will probably be gone by the time you get back there. If you see combat probes on DScan, warp immediately and tag the person using them with bad standings, so you can slowly but surely build up a base of local hunters, making it easier and easier to find who to look out for. Lastly, a thing that might not make a huge difference, but might sometimes save your ship. If you warp to the bookmarks in the middle of the cloud, move away from the center. If someone else decides they will hunt huffers by pre-scanning the sites and bookmarking the clouds, if they land in the middle of the cloud, but you are just outside of their scrambler range, you just might be lucky enough to get away. Also, this is why I always look if the clouds are intact and there is as many of them as there should be in the site, or if they have already been partially depleted, because that might mean that someone has been hunting in the system and the previous huffers had to leave. If you enjoyed this video, share it with a corp mate that might need it, leave a like and subscribe to see my future uploads. If you are interested in what I will talk about next, my videos go up every Sunday. And if we never see each other in space again, Capsuleer, fly safe!